welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on how my first novel is going. And the fact is I think it's going well. When did I start my novel? About 2 to 3 years ago, and it was a NaNoWriMo project, I believe. I can't really remember because it's been a few years. I probably could look back on the website and see, but I really don't want to because all I know is that I have the project and I've been working on it for about that long. I didn't finish it that year, obviously, because I finished it last NaNoWriMo, and I think it ended up about 40 to 41,000 words when I finished it. And my plan was print it out, read through it, and then give it to my editor to edit, and then have it out at the start of this year. Well, that plan failed, because when I read through the first part of it, it's like, how did she get into this situation? How do I get her out of this situation? And all that fun stuff. So there were just things that needed to be fixed in the first part, and I didn't even read to the second part, which needs a lot more work. So far, and I've only edited the first 12 chapters, I've added almost 10,000, if not 15,000 words to the manuscript. So yeah, it needed a lot more love. How did the story really start? It was inspiration from a video game and probably a couple of animes that I watched, because I think there was like a Fox Matchmaker series that was an anime, and I don't remember the video game completely. I think it was a video game my boyfriend was playing at the time that had a Twin Tails or Nine Tails fox in it, and I just thought she was cute. And so that's how I got inspiration for the fox characters. They started out as nine-tailed foxes, like I said, but then I decided that maybe twin-tailed foxes would be cuter. Not saying there's anything wrong with nine-tailed foxes, it's just the twin-tailed ones made more sense to me. And then I turned it into twins that had twin tails that have the powers of fire and ice. And that's how Eva and Ava came to be, our main character being Ava in the first book, and Eva is going to be the main character in the sequel. And then our male lead in the series actually came from the Fantastic Beasts series of movies that has been coming out over the past few years. They haven't let out the third one yet, but it doesn't really matter. But the character Credence, I love his name, and I love the fact that he came into his own power and actually was told by a lot of people what to do and everything. Not saying that's a good thing to do to anyone, because in his life, everything exploded. His power exploded. It left him sick. It left him confused. It left a lot of problems. But like I said, I love the name, so I took it. And I made a meek character that was similar. Not copying the character, but similar. The only difference is he had someone who loved him, who cared enough about him to help him find his powers. And that doesn't just mean magic. That could mean his power in the world and everything. Because in my story, the Credence character starts out as a priest who's been a scholar, who's just learning about the gods and everything of his world. And she comes back into his life from being a childhood friend and turns his life upside down. First, he learns she's a twin-tailed fox. Next, he learns something else about himself. And the fact is in his life, he learns that every choice comes with a cost. And he needs to find out, is he willing to pay the cost of work, time, and love in the story. And it's complicated. And I need to actually expand his story arc, showing his work that he does and everything else to pay the price to actually win Ava's love as well as approval of her family. So that's how the story is started. How the story is going, well, the first half was going pretty well. It has a lot of love. But the second half needs a lot more love, a lot more character arcs, a lot more everything in the story. The writing is hard at this point since I'm going through the first edit of it, and editing is usually pretty difficult for new writers, at least in my case, because you're learning everything about it. As it goes, the first part of the story, for me at least, is very well put together, very well edited, since I had worked on it so much to get to that point before I started the second part. And the second part needs more love, because I need to expand the story arcs of both Ava and Credence. And there's a lot more holes and problems to fix because I haven't expanded those story arcs. How is he going to gain the approval of her family? It's like, yes, there's a big battle, but how is he going to get strong enough to be in that battle? Or yes, she goes and visits her aunt and stuff happens, and so she doesn't have her memories and things, but how do I get her memories back? That sort of thing in the stories of it, I need to expand upon and figure it out, and it's just a lot of holes and problems to fix and all that. I really enjoy writing the story, and I can't wait to write the second one because I've started it, but yeah, that's how my first novel's going, and I hope to have it finished by the end of the year, or at least ready for my editor by the end of the year, and then maybe at the beginning of next year it'll be out, so everyone else can hopefully enjoy the story that I've put so much love into. I'll keep you updated. This is just merely my first update of the novel, and I hope to bring you better news, or just news in general, about the novel in months to come. Thank you, and bye-bye.